Let's go, baby. A happy Aloha Friday. Another solid Stay Ready Talk story. We got my sis Woolen Bahine coming up. In the meantime, let's listen to some rub-a-dub vibes while we get some peeps on here. But yeah, much love. Oh, what's up, bro? Hey, D. Let's talk story, dude. Let's get you on this talk story, bro. I want to fucking talk basketball with you, dude. It'll be freaking solid. But yeah, welcome everybody. Like I said, Stay Ready to Talk story. Sis Woodland Wahine coming on. It's gonna be a solid talk story. We're talking about her journeys. Hey, hell yeah, all day, bro. I gotta get some more kava too. But yeah, we'll be talking about her journey, about her roots, how she stays rooted to her roots, and yeah, dude, we just be vibing. Aloha Friday action. Yeah. Oh, Jatamek Studios, let's go, BB. As always, bro, shout out where you stay, where you're tuning in from, and if you want, bro, shout out how you sharing the aloha today, bro. But yeah, like I said, I've been stacking these freaking talk stories. So if you guys are on here and you guys want to jump on talk story, you know what I mean, shoot me a DM. Like I said, I'm tapping in with the health, fitness, and wellness community, basketball community, kava community, West Side music community. You know what I'm saying? Especially the Pacific Island reggae community. Yeah. So if you guys are on here, even if you guys, hey Lisa, if you want to jump on, share your story about kava. Yeah. Basically, just if you share aloha, if you're here, we're gonna fucking talk stories, dude. But let me shoot her a message real quick. Oh shoot. Yeah. Yeah. So what was I gonna say? Yeah. D message me, DM me, then we can get you on. Oh, my Amazon Prime just popped up. But yeah. In the meantime, like I said, we're gonna get her on fast kind. But yeah, if you guys are down to talk stories, share. If you guys have a business, if you guys are coaches, or if you guys just love kava, you know what I'm saying? If you guys have a positive experience around kava, positive experience about health, fitness, and wellness, anything, dude, you know what I mean? Always down to share, especially if you have something coming up as far as promotions, events, marketing, all the good stuff. Hit me up, dude, you know what I mean? But let me talk to this guy real quick. What's up, bro? Yeah, right there's cool. Yep, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so my studio slash. Oh yeah, let's go, dude. Like, hey, I've actually been hitting up Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gyms. You know what I mean? So offering post. Oh, there she is. But offering post training kava. So depending on your program, if they're open to me coming down to share kava for your athletes, for your players, dude, let me know, dude. I'm down. But here she is, dude. She is on, and we're gonna get. She's over in Aotearoa, which is pretty crazy. I think it's Saturday, 10:30 her time. I think. Oh yeah, kava for yourself too, dude. Yeah, you know what I mean. Got you, dude. But yeah, let me do this real quick. It's weird, freaking. If you guys jump on my lives with me, I always gotta do this like 5-6 times, dude. It's freaking weird. But oh, what's up, Jace? Shout out. Let me see again. Here we go. Let me shoot a request real quick. Maybe if I do an invite, that'll work. But yeah, I don't know. It's super weird, dude. Like, I always try to accept, but it takes like freaking like 5-6 times to accept the fucking um uh request. Hey sis, I actually sent you a request too. If anything, try accept. That's always, dude. Like, I love Instagram lives because we can interact. You know what I mean? But sometimes it's just freaking. It's super nitpicky, dude. There we go. There we go. Let me see if I accept. Oh, there you go. Hey, we're on. Yee. Nice.
This
How's
is
this?
weird. Hold on.
How you doing? Oh, never mind. She just left. We'll have her back on. But yeah, like I said, it's Instagram's pretty funny, dude. It's especially. Oh, what's up, bro? How you doing? All right. Hey, when you guys jumping on, shout out where you stay, where you from, or where you're tuning in from, and then we're freaking it's continue to vibe, dude. But here, let me shoot the invite real quick. But yeah, I'm gonna just keep talking, dude, because that's what I do. What? All right. Let me just bust this real quick. But yeah, so today we're gonna be talking, we're gonna be sharing her journey, and just like I said, how she stays rooted within her culture and just her travels, doing how she's navigating the waters. I think, like I said, she's traveling all over the Pacific. Yeah, well, that's so. Hey, November 9th, dude, I'm already locked in. I'm there. Modesto. No, it's all good. The minors, dude. Like I said, that's why I like lives, because it's interaction, like live, 101, raw, organic. But sometimes Instagram live can be freaking that kind, uh, any kind. But yeah, no worries, no stress. Like I said, we got some. There we go. Hey,
Are we in?
yep, we're good.
Hi, how's
Nice,
it?
nice, good, cruising. Like I was telling the everyone on right now, like I love Instagram Live because it's organic and one on one, or even just everyone in general. But sometimes jumping on can be a pain, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a fast kind of intro. First off, Mahaloz for jumping on. I know we had to figure out our time zones because you're over in Aotearoa right now, enjoying. But yeah, what's up, guys? How's it? My name is Serge. Stay Rooted Kava. This is Stay Rooted Talk Story. Basically, just my way of just connecting with people, but also connecting in communities. You know what I'm saying? So you have your circle, I have my circle, and we're gonna overlap and just introduce each other. And also, I've been wanting to talk stories ever since. I found out you were homies with Ava, aka Kava Queen 808. So this is pretty dope, dude. But speaking of Kava or Aba, do you have some on you right now, real quick? Or
Yep. I got
hey,
Pangalawa from Samoa, the village.
let's go. One time, real quick, Manuia. Yay,
I'm
fast
praying this.
time.
Let me get this going.
Yeah, I love you guys. Mine was already pre-made, but I was getting ready for this since earlier today. But yeah, real quick. As everyone jumps on, as always, I love inviting everyone to shout out where you're tuning in from, where you're representing, and all the good stuff. But real quick, sis, kind of just introducing yourself, who you are, where you're from, and how you are spreading aloha in your way right now.
So I am from Hawaii. I'm from the island Oahu, but my dad was military, so I pretty much grew up in America. And then just, I don't know, I never fit in, and I just came back as an adult to reconnect and just like getting those signs and those dreams and like stuff like, hey, you need to come back, you need to come back. And then I just couldn't take it anymore. I was like, fine. So I had to lean into that trust, which is a continuous journey. But I mean, I'm here in New Zealand now, so they're kind of taking me all over the map.
Nice, nice. No, that's solid. Yeah, because like we mentioned, we're trying to figure out the time zones. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, I'm living in California now. You're over in New Zealand, but yeah, how's that been as far as you said, growing up on the continent of U.S. and stuff, and all those other things, and you've been drawn back to coming back. Like, is it more of like traveling and like kind of venturing out, or were you drawn to like a certain like area in the South Pacific? You know what I mean?
Yeah, so my mom doesn't know who her dad is, and then we found out through like DNA testing that she's Polynesian, but it didn't say what kind for some reason. And so like I'm super mixed, so maybe that's why. 'Cause it's like a little bit of like everything,
Mm,
not just like one blah blah blah.
yeah.
And so I don't know, she's been getting signs her entire life to come to New Zealand, but she never did. And
Mm.
then I started getting them, like getting the signs, and then finally, like I answered the signs. Like my tupuna were like, "If you don't get your ass over here,"
Oh
just like
shoot.
ripped me over. Yeah, because I was like, because we we see with our eyes, right? Like we don't
Yep.
always see with, and like we don't trust it. We're taught that our senses in the other worlds are being crazy or your imagination, when our Tupuna, our ancestors, used to literally be like, hey, I had a dream that that volcano is going to erupt. Let's move the whole village. And the ones who did listen, they survived. And the ones who didn't died. So, like, this gift is passed through evolution from generation to generation because it helped our people survive. But then now in the modern day, due to colonization, there's just a lot of confusion, and it just kind of has like damaged our abilities to navigate to Waidoa, the spirit world. But yeah, so I'm here kind of just learning how to trust and like step into that. Yeah.
Nice. No, that's solid too, as far as spirit, intuition, and stuff. And yeah, like you mentioned, like um when people, quote unquote, hear voices or see certain things or whatever, like the Western, I guess, like, kind of like, oh, this person's crazy, or like, they're seeing things, you know what I mean? But I mean, obviously they are seeing things, but it could be spirit, or
Yeah.
ancestors, drawing them towards or guiding them. You know what I mean? So it's uh, I had a talk. I forget who I was talking stories with. It was someone. Yeah, I was talking stories with somebody, and they said they read somewhere how this dude, he was diagnosed as, like, hey, let's go, baby, nice, diagnosed with, like, schizophrenia and like all like this other stuff. But then he heard about this healer in Africa, and he went to Africa, and they were like, oh yeah, this, you're just very open and in tune to your ancestors and the spirits. Like, I guess the quote unquote shaman, like, saw this in this person, and then once he started, like, I guess he taught him how to, like, be channel, I guess, more intentfully. Then he started to, like, I guess, live a more fruitful and nourished life. You know what I mean? Because, like, there he's like, now he doesn't think he's crazy. It's more of like, okay, let me just channel energy, spirit, or messages in a more fruitful way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's pretty nuts, like, when you really dive into it. Because yeah, it's I guess, like, they try to mask or cover up certain gifts that we have. You know what I mean? So
It makes us easier to control.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, as far as having these um messages or being pulled to New Zealand and stuff, has it been like all your life, or has it been kind of like more recent? More recent. You know what I mean?
For me, it was my mom her entire life, but she was a Christian, so like some things that when I was a baby, like I had reoccurring dreams about specific stuff, and I'd wake up and like there'd be black figures surrounding my bed, and I was scared, and I was like frozen in my bed, and then the sun would rise and like clear it, and then she'd come in and be like, okay, time for school or whatever. And as I got older, I started to tell her what was happening, and she was like, it's demons, you need to go to church, you need to go to
Mm,
church, it's demons. And I started going to church, but then after I came to New Zealand, I realized that that was actually my tupuna. And
mm,
like the color, like black, is seen in this world as evil or dark because of the programming we receive, but black is protection.
mm,
Black is peaceful. So I had to kind of go on this journey to, I always got the signs, but I never knew what they meant. I just knew they meant something because it was reoccurring, and then it would be right place, right time, like continuous things like that, or like stuff like that. And then I went to Aotearoa, and they have people here called Matsukite who are like seers, and they started having dreams and stuff and telling me these dreams, and they aligned with my dreams. So it's like, we don't really know. Nobody really knows what's going on. We're just here, but
yeah,
something going
yeah,
on. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then as far as like you jumping on and like really, because like that takes a lot of courage too. Like, hey, you know what? Let me just go. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times people, you know what I mean? Like people would just like dismiss, these things, or just like, it's like, oh no, like I can't, I gotta do X, Y, Z, or like you feel tied down as far as like it's basically they just don't follow their intuition or follow ancestor calling and stuff. Like once you dove in and started following, did it feel like weight lifted, or like do you feel more aligned? It's like, okay, this is where I'm meant to be. You know what I mean?
Well, it was like um, I was in a really bad situation. I used to live in Florida with my family, and like I just got in like a really bad domestic violence situation, and like I ended up living with someone that I didn't know very well, like just survival mode, like kind of stuff. And then I was just super miserable. I was super depressed. I was really uncomfortable, and I started like to decay. And I was like, bruh, if I stay here, like I kept getting the dreams and the signs, like New Zealand, New Zealand, New Zealand, New Zealand, and I kept getting shown a map, and like the path was to go to Washington State, go to Hawaii, and then go to New Zealand. And I was in Florida, so I was like 20, no money, no job, nothing, and no family, and I like kept having these dreams, kept getting these signs, and my health started to decline, and I was like, dude, if I don't get out of here, I'm gonna die. And one day I just said, like, I can't do this anymore. I'm just gonna go. And so I got in my van. I had like a minivan, and I just packed water, packed clothes. I didn't even take all my stuff. Like I had like cats and stuff and a boyfriend. I just like had to just go.
Mm.
And I drove, like, it took me 8 months, but I drove across America. From Florida, I went up to the Cherokee Reservation in North Carolina, and then I stayed there for a bit, and then I drove across through Colorado, and then sorry,
No,
my
I understand.
friends. Like,
You-
wait, up, hey, make up. Oh, sorry.
yeah, mine is good. Good.
Hey, but no, so I drove across the country, and like when I was in North Carolina, I had gotten a job at like the hotel, or like the resort, the casino in Cherokee reservation, and my boss was like being a creep, and I was like cleaning people. I was just like housekeeping, like, bro, I was straight up struggling.
Yeah,
I was like house cleaning beds. Like I didn't even have a bed. Like cleaning showers. I didn't have a shower. I jumped in the river. Like it was just struggles, but I was like, fuck, I can't do this anymore. And so I said, okay, I sat in my car, and I was like kind of feeling crazy, and I was like, okay, show me a sign tonight, or I'm going to go back to Florida. And so I told my tupuna, like, gave him an ultimatum, like, show me now or I'm leaving and I'm going back. And then the next morning I woke up and I was like, I should go to Asheville. I just had this feeling, go to Asheville, go to Asheville. So it was like an hour, like, out of the way. And it's like this, like, hippie kind, like patchouli oil kind, like, like,
yeah,
the kind.
yeah, yeah,
It
yeah,
was like
yeah.
a type of town, and there was no Polynesians, like no Pacific culture. But I'm like walking in town, and I see this crystal shop with like selling rocks and stuff, and I go inside, and I'm looking around, and I get drawn to this giant, like, red, I think it was a red jasper, and I go there, I'm looking at it, and I look up, and in front of me there's a picture of a Maori tani, like a Maori man, on like a postcard, like a rotating
Yeah.
postcard rack, and right there in front of my face. And he has mataora, and he's an old man. He's just like giving me this smile, like just smiling. And he had sharp teeth, but he was just like the warmth from his smile. It like hit me, and I was like, holy shit! Like I've never seen, because I was the only Polynesian, only like I didn't see anything when I lived in the South,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, like that's my sign. So I ended up buying crystals from that shop, and then I weaved like a bunch of necklaces and like car hangers, and I sat outside the shop and I set out a blanket, and I ended up making $300 in like 2 hours. So I did that every day, and I got like $1,000, and then I drove the rest of the way and
Dang.
like had, yeah. But the crazy thing is, like, so that was in, I think, 2020 or 2021. But I got invited to go to a wananga, like a learning hall, like a conference type of thing. It was a cultural exchange where Maori came from New Zealand to Oahu, and then we had a cultural exchange. I got invited to that somehow, and I was like, okay, I'll go. You know, I don't know anything at all about Hawaiian culture, about Te Ao Maori, and like I still feel like I don't. But
Yeah.
I went. I saw this old man, and when as soon as I saw him, because that was like a year ago or 2 years ago, that picture like flashed before my eyes when I saw the old man. And then we had like people were fighting, like it was like there was like rarus, like problems, like. And then at the end, I say to the old man, "Can I tell you something?" Because he was so sweet and his energy, he was so loving towards me. It reminded me of that guy's energy
Yeah.
too. So like, can I tell you something crazy? And he goes, yeah. And so I tell him the story I just told you. And then I show him the picture of the postcard, and he's like, "Oh, yep, let's have a look." And he takes off his glasses and he looks at me. He's like, "That's my tupuna, like that's my ancestor." Yeah.
What?
So that's what I mean by like
Yeah.
signs, stuff like that has been happening for the longest time to come here. And like, yeah. So that man, he was like, "You need to come back with me to Aotearoa." And he is a tohunga, like he does rongoa, so like lomi lomi, like
Mhm.
miri miri kind of,
Yeah.
and then like medicine, like not like kawa kawa is like the cousin of kava, but
Yeah.
they use the leaf, like stuff like that. Yeah. So he teaches at like the universities and does stuff like that. And so he came, he's like, "You need to come and like come on the waka, come on the va'a, come." So that was one of the tohu examples.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Hey, dude, that's let's fast kind real quick. You know,
Yeah.
dude, that was that's that's pretty nuts. But no, yeah, thanks for sharing that story because you know that's plus like so that just happened like within the past what is it 2020 like past 4 or 5 years
Yeah.
like so legit like pretty fresh, huh?
Yeah, but like when I was 17, I had like cut all my hair off because I wanted to be white because I was the only one that looked like me, like no Polynesians, like since I left Hawaii.
Mm.
And then my teacher, I made really good friends with my teacher. She was like 20, she was hella young. She was like 22 or something, or I don't know. But I graduated and she was like, "Hey, come with me. I want to show you something." So I'm like, "Okay, bet, let's go." So then I jump in her car, and this is in Washington, D.C. And I jump in her car, and we go to the city, Washington, D.C. And I'm looking around, and I see aunties with like big hair, big nose, big ass calf muscles,
Yeah.
lava lava. I'm
Yeah.
like, "What's this? Like, I haven't seen this like before, you know? Like, I see people that look like me." And then all of a sudden, like, they just break out into a huge haka. And there was like a haka ropu that came from Aotearoa to Washington, D.C. And um, at the end, I was like, to a random dude, I was like, "Can I get a picture with you?" And he was like, "Oh, yeah, bro. Yeah, sure." He had like
Yeah.
an accent. What the fuck? I was like, I didn't know Polynesians had an accent, and I just didn't know anything. And then I took a picture of him and I posted it on my Instagram like years later, and my DMs got flooded. All my friends that I've made friends with, like somehow, some way, they're like, "Hey, are we related?" Da 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 da. Like, we just start talking and we vibe. Like, they're like, "That's my cousin. That's my best friend's boyfriend. That's my like." They told me like that's my neighbor. Like my whole
Yeah.
like, and that was when I was 17, and I was all the way in DC, like across the world. So, and that Papa Hone's tupuna, the one in the postcard, they're from Rotorua, so they're all from the same place the entire time. Yeah.
Dang, dude. It's yeah, that is pretty like that's amazing, dude. Like that's nuts. You know what I mean? Like straight up, like everything is like just calling you
Yeah.
to freaking, that spot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Even
It
my friend that I'm with right now, like I'm chilling at her house, she whakapapasu te Arawa, so that's the canoe, the same canoe of the guy from the haka, the guy from the postcard, the guy in Hawaii, like
Yeah.
the same that came to New Zealand. Yeah. So
Dang,
it's like,
dude. It's I got pretty chicken skin, dude. Like legit, like just hearing you talk about your journey, dude. It's crazy because like for me, being born and raised in Hawaii and stuff. But my dad's from Mexico. You know what I'm saying? So like being in like California, like on this continent, like there's been times when like if I'm like stressed or like I just friggin' just like feel like I just gotta take a breather. Like I legit like hummingbirds like always pop up, and then
mm,
like I did research. I'm like because I remember like hearing about hummingbirds being pretty important as far as not only Aztec but just like the southern indigenous people. I guess like for the Aztecs, like hummingbird is like a symbol of like strength, but also like perseverance.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I was like legit like a lot of times I can count like at least 10 times when like I go outside if I'm feeling stressed or if I just want to relax and release. There's always a hummingbird, dude, just like coming, like flying. Like even if there's no like flowers or like any like plants that'll attract a hummingbird, it just kind of it just kind of like flies like boom boom boom. Then I'm all like, okay, I'm good. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's they're always with us. You know what I'm saying? Our ancestors and like all this stuff. But yeah, your journey is pretty nuts, dude. Not gonna lie, like it actually. That's why I like these talk stories because like it's we know each other via DMs and liking each other's stuff, but like getting to know like you as a person, like even like this little, not even little, just like just journey of yours from Florida all the way, even like you just mentioned Washington 17, seeing all these dots being connected. You know what I mean? But yeah, how long have you been over in New Zealand right now?
um, I first came, well, first I want to say, like, with birds are so spiritual, eh?
Yeah,
We can
yeah,
just, I know what you mean, like, when you're feeling something or thinking something and you find a feather or you like see the bird come and get your attention. Like we see birds every day, but we know like that one is like getting my attention.
yeah,
Like, yeah, they come like, hey, hey,
yep,
like I to notice it. Yeah.
yep,
I
yep.
yeah, like what was your
Oh,
question? Oh, how long have
well, kind of going back to the bird kind of sightings, I guess you say. Yeah,
yeah.
like the last one was because I usually see them because I live in Sacramento now, so obviously I'm here more often than not. But I remember one time I was back in South City in the Bay Area with the in-laws, and then I remember I usually don't have they have like this little window with like the shower, so like one day I decided to leave the window open just to kind of get some air and like breathe.
Yeah.
So then I was like, I wasn't stressed or anything, but I was just more of like, I felt solid. You know what I'm saying? So I was breathing, boom, 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 and then like I kind of look outside, and then there's a hummingbird just like cruising, beep, 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 beep,
Uh,
beep, and like it kind of like looked at me, kind of flew like this, facing me, then it looked away and it flew away. I'm like, huh,
bruh.
thanks ancestors. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
legit, like yeah. So it's the I guess like you said, just like seeing or like
Yeah.
noticing things and like really putting your like intention and like spirit into like noticing these things. You know what I mean? It's pretty dope, dude. Because a lot of times like you said uh say for example like colonization or it's like all of us like we're disconnected from these signs or like these yeah these signs. You know what I mean? So it's yeah it's beautiful, dude. Not gonna lie. You know what I mean?
Like when you tell it to someone else, like, hey, like that's a sign, that's a sign, they don't. It's not for them, so they
Yeah,
might not get it. Oh, okay, whatever. But it's
yeah,
for you,
yeah,
specific thing that you notice, because you're too gonna know you. It's for
yeah,
you. Yeah.
yeah.
Because I tried to tell, like, I would have, like, growing up as a child, I would have dreams about stuff, or I would try to tell people, and it makes you feel even more insecure
Mm,
when tell someone and they're like, yeah, or they're like,
yeah,
or like me with like with guys, like I would be like, I would just know, I'd be like,
yeah,
wait, look at your phone, like I would just know, and then I don't know, it's just certain stuff, and then people just like gaslight because it's not for them. And I feel like everybody has the ability to be tapped in. It's just we have a lot of things like our food and like our programming, like the stuff we see in movies, like limiting beliefs that and religious trauma that we get put through, and we are like multiple levels of disconnection happening, but
Yeah,
all we all are with us.
100%. Especially like say like disconnection with like nature. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't necessarily have to freaking go in the woods or go like super deep and like have like a. I mean, it'd be solid if you could, but like even just being going at the park and like just like observing the trees. You know what I'm saying? Or like seeing the wind flowing within the trees, or like seeing the like I said birds or animals kind of doing their thing. You know what I mean? It's yeah, even like that. Like sometimes I just kind of stand and like kind of like stare at a tree, kind of like, oh, that's a nice looking tree. Like legit, like I just like admire like a tree. You know what I mean? Like you feel the energy within the actual tree. But yeah, every time I say that, it's the same thing. I'll be like with like people or like some friends. I'll be like, oh damn, bro, check out that tree. It's a big ass tree, dude. I was like, man, it was like that's a solid. Like I feel the energy. You know what I mean? But then people are like, oh, okay. Then I was all like, all right. You know what I mean? But yeah, I just now I just say it out loud because I don't care. You know what I mean?
He is talking to you, not to them. And
Yep.
like the way that plants communicate, like our brain has brain dendrites and it sends the signals like electricity like fast, but they touch each other and it sends, and they touch each other and it sends. That's how we can feel like pinching our hand. It goes to
Hmm.
our brain, tells us, oh, our hand's being pinched. It's the same thing with like the mycelium under the ground, the way that the mushroom like
Yep.
organism. It's like brain dendrites in our mind. And so if we're walking in the forest, like it's telling all the other trees, what's up. And like
Yep.
people joke and they laugh about, oh, you're a tree hugger, da da da. But there is something to that.
Hmm. 100%, dude. Yeah, and I'm even still now, even living over here in California. I've been walking either slippers or freaking barefoot like everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, like even then, dude, it's like it like legit feels like I grew up that way. You know what I mean? So it just feels good. But yeah, like even like what is it? I was watching Fantastic Fungi on Netflix.
Oh yeah,
That's when I yeah, that's when I like first started like to learn more about what was it again?
mycelium.
Mycelium. There you go. Yeah, yeah. I started learning about mycelium. I was all like, "Oh shit, this is fucking stony, dude." Because like, I have this freaking So I was uh, so I still do health, fitness, and wellness, but I was more of like natural movement and like tapping into like grounding, earthing, and all that stuff. But I have this book, which is a secret therapy of trees, harness the healing energy of forest bathing in natural landscapes. Yeah, so like this one and like biophilia effect. So like I've been diving into all this. So it's like the stuff you say too. I'm like, oh yeah, it's real. You know what I mean? It's not just like hippie shit. You know what I mean? It's yeah, it's crazy too. Like now that I think about it, like when people talk about all this stuff, it's like, oh, you're just like big hippie stuff. But this is like ancient wisdom knowledge, like that all people of the earth knew. It's just you know what I mean. But oh shoot, somebody said what book? The Secret Therapy of Trees. And then another easy read is the biophilia effect. So basically, that one is more like the science behind how we can tap into nature to start to heal ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but
Because
yeah.
like I have they tell me I have autism and ADHD. And the thing is, I've noticed a lot of people who have autism or ADHD that are high functioning or whatever they say, the labels they give us, they actually are really tapped in. So like being overstimulated, because this world, everything's built in boxes when we're meant to be in organic shapes, and we're meant to be around the trees that absorb our anxiety, our stress, and transmute it. And like we're meant to be around thriving life, and but we're in these boxes eating McDonald's, driving, waking up before the sun to go to work or to school, like dishonoring so many natural cycles, and then we have to take medicine to fix us. But it's like those things are just symptoms. It's like, are you actually anxious? Are you actually depressed? Are you actually ADHD? Or are you having a natural reaction to a synthetic environment? You know what I'm
That's
saying?
no, that I know exactly what you're saying, dude. Because like I always tell people I've been recently semi-diagnosed, through a professional, with Kaiser, basically. So basically, my ADHD story, like, uh, I Instagram, you know what I'm saying, reels. I see like stuff. I saw like animations of like ADHD. It was like, oh, a life with ADHD here. I'm like, oh, that's pretty funny. I'm all like, I see more. I'm like, oh shit, that's
It's
me. And then I started like diving into the more science stuff. So I got into like a rabbit hole of like really researching. I'm all like, oh shoot, I think I've been living my life with like legit like ADHD. And then I called Kaiser. I did the whole first call. I was like, oh, why do you think X Y Z? I was like, okay, we're gonna put you through an intake call. So I did like an hour and a half call with this one professional who's been in the industry for field for like 20 plus years. And then after the call, I was like, yeah. So after this conversation, like, how likely have I been living with ADHD? And then she goes like, yeah, you're a high functioning ADHDer. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh, okay. Then she was like, oh, we can push you forward to the small group thing. I didn't want to take medication or anything. It was more of like
saying.
validation. You know what I mean? So,
So,
and then my friend Sammy, I've known her since high school. Okay, yep, Sergi always, yep, guaranteed. But no, yeah, like I totally know what you mean as far as like the anxiousness or like that feeling, because like there's sometimes when I just feel like brr, 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 like just like lots of tabs. So
yeah,
I just like for me like I've learned ways to I guess kind of ease it. You know what I mean? So like movement, going outside, and then external would be like kava or like some cannabis and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, but for the most part, it's like being outside, breathing, and movement. That's like help to kind of release the I guess like synthetic reaction. You know what I'm saying? To the world we live in. You know what I mean?
yeah. But the thing is like, um, people with ADHD, if you were to put them outside camping or like outside in a village, they would thrive.
Yep.
So they tell us it's a disability because we have a superpower, but we're not meant to be controlled. We're not meant to like stay in this conformed box. We're meant to go out and voyage and expand and invent. And school, it doesn't make you smart. School just, it teaches you how to, learn information, do busy work, deny yourself, your body when your body's like, hey, I need to go to the bathroom. It's like, no, you need to ask permission. Like,
Yep.
it teaches us to be like kind of more in that servitude mindset because the American education system was modeled to create people to work for the industrial side, to make us factory workers and to make us like smart enough to get the job done, but not smart enough to overthrow the system. And like, when we grow up in tribe times, somebody who's ADHD, they would have like hyperfixations. And like I've seen it here in Aotearoa. Some of my friends who are autistic or ADHD that are Maori, they'll hyperfixate on whakapapa and genealogy. They know all their tupuna, all the way back to like what canoe they came on, know all the stories. Or if their hyperfixation is rongoa, like the plant medicine, they know all you can go walk with them in the woods and they see the woods so different, and that's a gift, that hyperfixation. But those people, they have trouble, I don't know, remembering to put their clothes in the dryer or fold their laundry, or they have a hard time being on time because we have to be, on a schedule in this box of a society. And so they kind of slip through the cracks and they fail. So that's why ADHD and autism is a disability in this society, but it's a fucking superpower out there in the
Yep.
real world. Yeah,
Yep.
because
Yep.
it's a community. If you're meant to be conform, uniform, blah blah blah, your ADHD people are meant to be exceptional. But that's our gift. We hyperfixate on something. Or autistic people, we hyperfixate, or we have a certain special talent that's unique, and we bring that uniqueness to our community, and it benefits everyone versus having to be standardized. It's just, we're not that way. Yeah. And kava, like when I started drinking kava more seriously, like I'll drink it before I sit down because I'm a student. So I have to do like school while I'm traveling. It's like a lot. So I'll sit down and I'll drink some kava, and then I can actually like put some of those tabs away
Yeah.
and like chill and like be like doing my stuff.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, because yeah, there, like you said, there's times when like, especially in the morning, like I've found ways to get my day set. You know what I'm saying? As far as like, so I do like shower meditations in the morning, and then depending on like how I feel, if like it does feel like lots of tabs, or like, for me, it's like more like uh kind of like this, like pulsating. So I was like, oh shoot, like oh crap, yeah, like legit. I just feel like oh I gotta do X Y Z, boom
Impending
boom 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 boom. But then it's like
doom, impending
yeah,
doom.
yeah, for real, dude. It was like, oh shoot, I gotta do all this stuff. But then there was like, okay, just calm down. Like, that's why, if you notice on my Instagram every morning now, I do what's called a POW list. So like a finish list. So it's basically like my checklist, but it's more of like, okay, I don't have to do. I have like priority,
Yeah.
but I don't have to do all of it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But then yeah, so it's like, okay, priority is X Y. You know what I'm saying? But then if we can get to Z and then A B, I that's solid. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I found ways to kind of work within
Yeah.
that space. But yeah, talking about that hyperfixation, you know what I'm saying? Like for me, I thought about this like big time. Like, why do I love basketball? You know what I'm saying? Like I fucking love that shit, dude. Like, and like, why does it not necessarily come easy, but like why does it flow? Because basketball's super fast, yeah.
Yeah.
So like for me, like I realized like one, it's a quick dopamine fix because there's so much things going on. So playing defense, stealing, rebounding, baskets, shooting, dribbling. You know what I'm saying? Even the dribbling, it's like that shit fucking like bump up. They just yeah, I just get into the zone. But like also like pattern recognition.
Mm,
Like for me, it's like okay, like I understand like if I'm playing defense, if he drives, he's gonna either shoot, pass, but there's also like other people moving. So it's like, okay, I understand, if they're good basketball players, if this person drives, this person should cut, he's gonna either pass or shoot. You know what I'm saying? So like now it's like I also talk a lot.
yeah.
So I'm like, oh shit, he's driving, watch the cutters. So then boom, boom, boom. I'm like, I can see especially like fast breaks, like running fast breaks, you have your lanes. I can see like all the lanes like happening all at once. So it's like I said with the superpower, it's like now that I realize, opening, you know, being semi-diagnosed with the ADHD, it's like, oh, okay, now I understand why I'm really good at certain things,
Yeah.
but then I suck at, like you said, like I have clothes in the fucking in my room that's been I was supposed to fold like 3 days ago. You know what I'm saying? It's like, was it Doom piles? It's organized, but it's like it's not folded. You know what I mean? But like
That's tough.
yeah, even with my son Elijah, like that dude legit he has ADHD for sure, dude. But it's like the stuff like when he hyperfixates, dude, like he freaking just like goes in, dude. But there's certain things like putting away, his cup or whatever, or just
Yeah.
simple things like that. It's like, bro, why don't you just do it? But then now I'm realizing and being more empathetic of like, okay, I'm understanding
Yeah.
how how he is basically as a human being. You know what I mean?
And
So
that's like, it's important for us to get diagnosed with ADHD or with autism so that we can understand like, oh, my brain works differently, and then get the tools, or like I'm in school, like get the accommodations that we need to be successful in this society. But to see it as a disability, it's not a handicap
mm,
outside of this, because your gift of pattern recognition, when you look at it from an ancient view, if someone was to come raid your village, we see basketball because that's like the modern day, like way your
yeah,
DNA is being active. But back in the day, if someone was to come raid your village, you'd know, okay, they might go here, they might go here. Let's cover this base. Let's do this. Let's get the kids. Let's get the food. Let's
yeah,
fuck this person up, like the throat. So
yeah,
you would
yeah,
like know where to go, what to do, fast and quick. You wouldn't be like like stuck and in panic.
yeah.
So that genetic trait was passed down to you because it helped your ancestors survive.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
with like matakite and spirituality and people who can see the future. A lot of these people are autistic or ADHD because when you have pattern recognition, you kind of know what's going to come next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, and then like as I get older, or as I'm becoming more self aware, you know what I'm saying? Like even for me, like my superpower is connection and um talking story. You know what I'm saying? Like I can connect and like relate to like all types of people, dude. Like guaranteed, like I can walk down the street and I'll fucking some random dude at Starbucks. I can talk story. You know what I'm saying? Like I've always I'm into like a bunch of like random random stuff, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I'll get into something, I'm like, oh shoot, okay, that's cool. Oh shit, that looks pretty cool. Boom, get into something again. Oh shit, all right, whoa, look at that. Boom. You know what I mean? So it's like, but all of it's I was talking to my brother Andrew a couple days ago. My North Star, he calls it, is community and connection. You know what I'm saying? So like everything I've done as far as like I guess like a profession has come with community and connection. So it's like even my radio days when I used to work radio, I loved it because I got to be out there and meet people, connect with people. My health and fitness, I get to connect people, I get to help people. But even now, like with Kava, I get to connect and talk story with people over Kava. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's like you said, it's not a disability. It's more of becoming aware of your yeah, just who you are as a person, your patterns, and then using it to your advantage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but
And like ADHD is it is debilitating in this society. Like it like I deal with it. Like I have like because because like for example, people will I have different accents. So people will be like, "What's that about?" You know, and it depends on who I'm talking to and my mood, because I was moving around a lot in the military, and I didn't have like I didn't grow up in one spot. So I had like all my friends were like black in one place, or all my friends were white, or like most of my friends were Hispanic. So I just kind of like switch. And then here, like I've been speaking with Maori, and if a Maori man was like a Maori dude was to come walk over here, I would talk totally different to him.
yeah,
But that I found was like a symptom of autism, because we've been told so much that we're weird and like I don't know, rejected. So we've learned to subconsciously mimic people to
mm,
seem more relatable to them, because it's a means of like surviving socially, to be accepted, to be seen as like a friend. So like I always wondered why I do that, because people will be like, "Oh, you're culturally appropriating," or like because people look from the outside, they don't understand, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
And then I started like learning more like online, like you did, like about autism and ADHD, and I realized like, oh, that's actually called
yeah,
masking.
yep,
That's a
yep.
symptom. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's powerful. Yeah, because even for me too, like freaking like I'm bounced between. Oh, and plus I think it's more of like you said, you can communicate easier
yeah.
with that person. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, even for me, it's I want to say like identity crisis, but it's more of a like, oh shoot, like who am I? Like why do I talk like this to this person? But when I talk more like this to this person, you know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, like not same thing. Like, oh yeah, it is called it's masking. You know what I'm saying? So it's more of us. Uh, yeah, I kind of like being a positive chameleon. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so it's like we're just kind of shifting our colors for our environment. You know what I mean? So it's not necessarily being fake. Like we're still us, but it's more of like, okay, this is just us being comfortable because now we can understand each other. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, and that's from outside perspective, people can judge, but that's part of our superpower, because, like, that's how I can travel to different countries, and even I don't even speak the same language as the person, but we vibe, and like I become
Yep.
friends with people because we just like relate like that,
Yep.
and then just laugh, and they feel the energy. And but it's like a lot of people online, man, they just have nothing to do, and they just
Yep.
because we're supposed to be in community in our villages, and like we're supposed to be surrounded, we're supposed to have something to do, like okay, today we're going fishing, and then we're gonna come build, and then we're gonna make, take the bones from our food and make jewelry. Like, we were supposed to have tasks, and now we're just here, like, getting our dopamine from cheap sources, like scrolling. I'm
Yeah.
so guilty of it. Like, sometimes I just be rotting in my bed, like
Yeah.
on the phone the whole
Yeah.
day, nothing gets. And then I'm stressed out. All my assignments are done, and then last minute, and
Yeah.
I get all that shit done.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's I mean that's also a superpower too. It's like freaking like for me like just like putting things off to the last minute, but like oh shit, all right, I got 20 minutes. Boom, I like something that takes an hour, I can bang out in like 15 minutes. You know what I mean? But it's because it's that sense of urgency. You know what I mean? But shoot, we're actually oh no, actually no. Well, we got on a little later, so we got another like maybe 10, 15 minutes. I just found out Instagram Live for me. I don't know why it kicks me off within the hour, but we got about like I think like 10 more minutes because we jumped on a little later. But yeah, as far as jumping in, that's awesome how you're. I love how you tapped into the relationship of like say ADHD and autism, but also like how our ancestors may have used this trait that we have to thrive. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, just, it is what attention deficit. But it's not necessarily attention deficit. It's more of like oh, we're just hyper focused on certain things. You know what I mean? And we just uh, put the other stuff that we don't find interesting to the wayside. You know what I mean?
Don't find something interesting, it's like so hard to make yourself do it. But if you find something interesting, you're like on, like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But the other thing is like with people with autism, even I experience this. Like, I have like meltdowns sometimes, and I can't spend too much time out in public
Mm,
because I freak out. But I'll like just like sit there and just be like quiet, and then I'll go home and like sleep for like a whole week sometimes because like we are so tuned in to detail. And like someone could walk in a space and be like, oh, la la la. But like me, I go in a space and I see that person's shoelace is untied. There's a ladybug on that tree. Like I'm like noticing little details,
mm,
and it's sometimes overwhelming. And then, but that's also a gift as well, because when we're outside and we're hunting and
yeah.
we like foraging, dude, like that me, like I like to go diving and like getting crabs and getting fish and stuff like that. That quick thinking, it helps us survive, but also like the detail orientedness and the mass information processing that we do, it's like not meant for this world that's constantly overstimulating us with bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I also, dude, it's crazy how you think about this stuff because I think about this stuff too, like a lot. It's like, oh shoot, okay, like how would I be if I was, way back in
Yeah.
like, tribal, like true communal space. And like for me, like I would be doing exactly what I would be doing right now. You know what I'm saying? As far as like what I don't know why it's but backstory. I remember in like third, fourth grade we had like a Native American Day, and then we got assigned tasks, and then or tasks or like I guess like a position in like our tribe, which was our each classroom. And then
Yeah.
my teacher, for some reason, like she not for some reason, but is meant. She made me the medicine man. So basically, I was in charge of like bringing people together and like helping to, heal the people, but also like bring the people together. You know what I'm saying? So she might have saw it in me already. You know what I mean? So she was like, okay, Serge is gonna be an excellent medicine man. You know what I mean? And like there's warriors and stuff, and like for me, like if I have to, I'll scrap. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, I'm like, hey, what are we really doing here? You know what I'm saying? It's just, like the whole like communicator, like just the inner talking stories. Like, do you? Should we really be fighting? Like, should we just drink some kava and like fucking talk about it? You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know why I fully just thought of that of like me like because I've thought about like okay how would I be back in like back in the day as far as like tribal communal and yeah I would like, be doing exactly what I'm doing as far as connecting and like just like open stories you know what I mean so
Yeah.
but yeah like you said it's the ancestors speaking to us and stuff but yeah just in case I didn't get the time But I could talk stories with you forever, dude. We gotta fucking yeah, we gotta legit jump back on
Yeah,
in like a month or two, dude. But yeah, as far as I always like to ask like two solid questions based on the conversation that we've had the past like hour or so. Number one would be based on the beginning story of you listening to say you're now and your intuition, your ancestors and stuff. Um, Say if someone is having the same experience, but they feel like, oh shoot, I don't know if I should follow, or like how would you kind of recommend someone kind of opening themselves up to listen more to their ancestors? You know what I'm saying?
I would just say talk to them, but be specific because I'm mixed. Some of my ancestors probably did not want me to be here. So you gotta talk to the ancestors that want the best for you, want to see you, and talk to God. Like I don't know, I'm not religious like any kind. I just believe in God, but talk to God, go outside, connect, have those conversations because sometimes we want things or we think things, but we have free will. Nobody can intervene. But if you ask them, hey, I need guidance, they're going to show you a sign. They're going to show you something, and you have to listen. And if you don't listen, you can always ask for clarification.
Yeah.
But if you know the sign is for you, you will see it and you will know hard out. Yeah.
Nice. Love it, dude. Hell yeah. And then second question, since we dove super deep into some ADHD and autism, I don't even know how we got there, dude. But yeah, we got in there and then I started vibing. For someone who feels like they are on, the, is that neurodivergent or like autism, ADHD,
Yeah.
if they feel, or even if they're recently diagnosed, like how, based on your experience, how have you tapped into using this superpower, or even being more aware of how you can use this for nourishment or growth? You know what I mean?
Just understanding that you have special gifts, even if you don't know what they are yet. We have to go out into the world and we have to be in certain places to activate those gifts in our DNA. We don't just inherit ancestral trauma, we don't just inherit, the pain, but we have the gifts too. But we have to go out there. Like for us Pacifica people, we have to go out in the water. We have to go back to our home islands. We have to go be physically in these places to activate those things in our DNA to come out. But as far as ADHD and autism go, I would just say knowing that we're meant to live in nature. We're meant to thrive in nature. So going out and going out and being more in nature in little ways that we can in this modern world, like gardening or like going for a run in the morning or like going to the beach, like hard out on the self-care, hard out on the listening to your needs, and don't let capitalism make you feel lazy for resting and like unprogramming a lot of that
Yeah.
capitalistic stuff.
Nice, dude. Love it. Man, I'm telling you, yeah, we figured because there's so many like avenues that we can like even like dive. Yeah, we can like dive into so many solid things. Yeah, like legit, like we could
Yeah,
have like a 5-part talk story, dude. You know what I mean? Of
yeah,
just what we just talked about. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But yeah. Other than that, do you have anything as far as like any last words that you want to share with the community? Inspiration, or just anything that you feel called to share right now?
I would just say two things: be yourself, and another thing, don't take advice from anyone that you want to trade places with. That's
Hey,
a
let's go.
that's a big one.
That's a big one. Yep. Yep. Oh, big time, dude. Yeah, because I've taken advice from some people back in the day when I was like, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Yeah. But yeah. All right, sis. One last one
Yeah,
for
yeah.
the homies. Gee. Oh yeah. So just it's Woodland period Vahine. Yep. But yeah, love you. I will DM you right after this. Jihu, and then New Zealand is on my bucket list of
Yeah,
New Zealand, Philippines, and Japan. Those three
yeah.
places I really want to visit, dude. So Uh, the One Love Fest is in January, so that's like a 10% chance, but one day. But yeah, all right. Love you, sis. I will DM you right after this. And everybody watching, thank you. Mahalo. Thank you for watching. I have a couple guests on deck next week. I try having Andre. He's a local basketball trainer here in Sacramento.